Hey guys, how's it going? Coming back to you with a update following up on our previous video. So first I want to start off by saying whenever I went back and looked at the first video I posted, um, guys, I'm recording off of my phone, okay? I don't have any proper recording materials or equipment, so I'm going off my phone. Well, I happen to have my phone facing the wrong direction. Going through editing it, it looked fine. And then when I posted the final finished piece to YouTube, that's whenever I noticed, whenever I posted on here, that's when I noticed that it was holding it straight up and down rather than side to side how it needs to be. Ooh, look, I got blue fingers. Anywho, so now we're going to be doing it the correct way. This should be the correct way to get it broadcast across the screen. Secondly, I was waiting on a package whenever I recorded. This was back last Monday. It's now been Saturday. It is Saturday. I haven't recorded throughout the week because I was having some health issues. I'm not feeling too great. As well as we were very busy. My wife was making food that she was going to come sell at my place of business. So she was really busy with that, meaning I couldn't come out and record. As well, one day we had to go all the way up to Lafayette to get something back. Ooh, it's back. I'm so excited about that too. So for right now, we're not going to do anything with this. I may do a full in-depth review on this, as well as the truck here, but not right now, not today. We still got stuff we need to do on the truck. If you do recall last Monday, I said we were going to get to install those. That's what we're going to be doing today. As well, I had a hyper flashing issue with the new LEDs that I had just installed as the turn signals. I did record on, I think, Tuesday, and I went over in detail how we do these, how we install the load resistors to stop the hyper flashing. So, long story short, the hyper flashing is stopped. The load resistors are on right here and right here. And I'm not sure if you guys can see down in there, there's little red pieces of plastic connected to the wires. Well, those red pieces of plastic are what cause the resistance for the LED. Since the LED doesn't have a filament inside with any resistance, that's why it would hyperflash, because the power was cycling through as fast as it possibly could. So the load resistors that I put on, those connect into the turn signal, the flasher wire, and the ground, and it completes a circuit through there, just including the resistance that it needs for the LED to flash at a slower speed. Now the other option is that you could have got a relay. Relays are just a little bit more expensive. I think for these resistors I paid $10. I think the relays are like $15. I may be wrong on that, but it's something along those lines. And the new relay actually will just slow down how the computer sends the signal, because it knows that the LEDs can't go at that pace. So all it does is it just tells the computer, hey, we're going to slow down the relay release time and let it flash at a normal pace. Okay, and then so back to my original point. We were waiting on a package to come from Amazon. Well, we ended up getting it. This is a hot mess right here. We'll come into right here. So this is one of the things we were waiting on. It's a bundle of 20 gauge wire, which we're going to use to wire the fog lights in. And there would be it. Comes in, as you can see, yellow, red, green, black, and blue. We're going to be using the red and black features today. Another thing that I did record on Tuesday, but I ended up not being able to post it because I recorded it wrong, is the Miscellaneous Silver Star Ultra headlights. They are in the truck. I had a before and after on those, but of course I'm not using the footage. I may put the clip in here for you guys to see. It is a bit brighter. It's a bit brighter, and it broadcasts a little bit further out on the road. I'm happy with them. They're a nice upgrade to the originals. Weren't actually that bad. They're not that bad. They were GE I'm not sure what they would be called, but they are these right here. I still can't get focus. It's alright. Okay, and then the third thing that we got out of the package are these wiring connectors, which is what we're going to be using today. We're using 20 gauge wire. We're going to use these male connectors, and on the harness they have something that looks like these female connectors. Oh, sorry, showing you the wrong end. It's got a female connector that looks like that, and we're going to be tying our harness into the male connectors and putting them into those female connectors that are already on the harness. Okay guys, so those connectors were already open, and you may have noticed just a second ago that my tail light is out. I have it out of the out of place here. I got the light bulb out. Well, an issue that I've been having with this F-150 is that all my lights work, all of them. Headlights, brake lights, turn signals, hazards on speaking for the rear. But I do not have tail lights, you know, so when you flip your headlights on and you just have the red light in the back, not the bright light or anything, those are the tail lights. I don't have tail lights, as well as the license plate lights that shine on the plate. I do not have those. So I've been going through, I've posted on Facebook, Instagram, I'm now bringing my appeal to you guys here on YouTube. I've been going, I've been looking down there for a bad ground. All the grounds seem to check out. I thought I found the issue, and it was in the turn signals. They have a base colored wire, and then it'll have a stripe through it. That's your flasher wire. They have a brown wire for the running light, which would be what my issue is, and then they have a black wire for the ground. So I checked all the black wires. The black wires all check out. I thought I found an issue with the brown wires. So I went ahead and took some wire cutters in there. I cut them. I took off of the roll that I just got. I took some wire off there. Some of our heat shrink connectors. Redid that all together. Just tested it, and it's still not working. I've gone through and checked all the fuses. I've done pretty much everything I can think of, and I am stumped. I am at a loss right now. So I'm bringing my appeal to you guys. Maybe you guys would be able to help me. If you know what that is, please comment below, or go to my Instagram, Oxford White 150, letter 1 FIDY, and there's an underscore there, and let me know. If you know the answer, please let me know, because it's gotten to the point where I actually have to drive this to work whenever my wife takes the Focus. And luckily enough for me that I leave the house about 4 o'clock in the morning to be at work by 5. It's very, very dark out. It's very dark out. It's not good. That's not the lucky part, but the lucky part is that usually police officers aren't out, and usually there is not very much traffic on the roads that I have to take to work. Normally when I go to work, I will hop on the interstate. I will hop on I-65. Where I live is Frankfort, Indiana, and I work in Lebanon, Indiana. And you go down State Road 39 over to 65. 65 takes you straight into Lebanon. Well, I take all back roads so that, you know, I don't have any other vehicles around me, because, you know, I drive a white truck. I feel like when your headlights shine on it, you should be able to see it. And also the headlight lenses, or the tail light lenses, are still reflective. So I feel like you should be able to see it, but it is still a hazard to folks on the road. So I do everything I possibly can to alleviate that. Take back roads, make sure that people, you know, couldn't sneak up behind me and not see my truck or whatever. But please, if you guys know the answer, I'd be eternally grateful. So now we removed the gloves, because I'm done getting dirty under there. I did what I thought was going to fix it, and it didn't work. So we're going to move on to the fog lights now. We're going to go ahead and wire them together, and then from where we wire them together, wire them up into the harness, and then mount them on the bottom of the bumper. And I think it's going to look good. I think it's going to look good. The only thing is where we made the cuts on the front of the bumper, which I did record that last time. I will show you guys that as well. But where we made the cuts, they're a little rough. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to make them like curve in, or maybe here in the future I'll switch over to another product that I've seen through Nightlight, which actually it's like a plate that mounts from the front and you screw in through the back, so it kind of creates a frame around the hole so that you don't actually see any cuts. That's something that we might do in the future to give it more of a cleaner look, and then we'll move those, and then maybe we'll move those spotlights up into the grill or something along those lines. And then in the future there may be a chance that we do a 52-inch across the top. That's not high on the priority list, but it's something that may happen. Alright, so again guys, this is something that did get recorded the last time, but we weren't able to use the video. Right here, we cut it. All I used is a circular saw. I believe that's what it'd be called. And I had got a new wheel to put on it, cut it. The edge right here is pretty rough, if you can see, and I'm still kind of new at what I'm doing, so I end up cutting past, which, you know, I don't like the look, but what's happened has happened. But yeah, we got plenty of surface right here to mount onto here, and this is the exact shape I measured beforehand, so we're good on that. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and try and get those lights mounted in there. Alright, and as you can see, now got it in place, got it aimed forward at the same angle as that. Now, just to get the other side, and then we can start wiring it together. Okay, for those of you who maybe want to do an install similar to this or something like this, you're on the spot that I'm trying to mount on. This doesn't come with a washer. It comes with these locking washers, but that's it. So you're gonna need a washer about that size to go over this on the mounting spot that I am choosing. For most F150s that are 10th gen like this, the bumpers that they have actually have fog light assemblies on them. This was just a baseline truck. It's a work truck, so it doesn't have any of the added amenities. That's why we're having to cut holes and mount the way that we are. Should your truck already have a fog light assembly, it is much easier to mount this piece into the fog light assembly and just let the light there sit in the housing that was already existing or already there. It's much simpler on those trucks that already have the housing there. And as you can see, we got them both mounted in there. Now we're ready to start doing the wiring. Alright guys, and I finally got those wired up today. This all looks funny because I have my flash on. I'm going to get under there and show you guys what exactly we did. Okay, so right here is the mount for the passenger side. And right here is where the driver's side is mounted. Okay, so coming off of the harness that's attached to those, we just did a heat shrink type connectors in here, pinch the wires in with my own 20 gauge wire here. Ran the 20 gauge wire all the way along the front bumper, and I made it T with this harness right here into another one of these connectors. Okay, so I got my 20 gauge coming from the other light, this 20 gauge coming from this light into this harness. This goes all the way up to the power source, which I will show you. We did the same on the black here, and then just zip tied them up, keep them out of the water. There's an opening right here, that right there's where the light bar is, but if it's raining, snowing, anything, the wetness will come in here, so I made sure to keep it down below the opening and above the bottom of the bumper here. Okay, we just ran this up. I'm still thinking of zip tying this to a piece of metal or something. We do have the radiator right here. I just don't want it up against that. If we go all the way up here, it might be easier to show you from the top side. You can kind of see right there where they are connected into their power sources. Yeah, guys, it will be easier for me to show you from the top side, so give me just 1 sec for that. Alright, and we're on the top side. So when I initially just had the 22-inch connected, I went ahead and zip tied all these wires up in here, just let them sit in this pocket. It's a nice area, no moisture or anything gets in there. So just let those stay right there. So, still not going to be super easy to show you, but right here, I'm getting it, is the connector. Right here where my finger is the female, right up there is the male that I connected my ground wires to. And the pink is just a heat shrink, the heat shrink portion of it that we got together. I can grab the white here, and you can see the white one as well. If I can get focus on that. There it is. Alright, so this harness, I like these harnesses. They have 2 connections. They have one at the bottom for whatever, you know, for your extra length. I actually have another version of this exact harness right here. So right here in the middle of the harness would be, you know, one of your connectors. That's what I utilized just now. And then all the way at the end of the harness would be other connectors, which is what I have my 22-inch going into. So let me turn those on real quick, and then you'll be able to see how bright it is. I was surprised. I didn't think it was going to be a huge difference, but it is. It's extremely bright. I mean, it looks good. It looks great. It's bright. The video does not do it justice. That is incredibly bright, and I'm super pleased with the turnout of that. Alright guys, so that's all done. As for the truck right now, I think we are done with the lighting aspect. The only thing I might change is right here on the front, how we have our 22 and these fogs. Maybe right here, put some spotlights. Because on these fog lights here, these are a flood style, just like we have right here on the outside of the light bar. These are spotlights in the middle and then floods on the outside. So I'm thinking, since we got floods right here, so it's almost like flood, flood, spot, flood, flood. Maybe put spots right here in the middle, and it'll help light reach out farther whenever we're driving. Again, I try not to use those on the road because, you know, it upsets people whenever you're shining bright lights at them and they can't see, obviously. So the only time that we do that is on the back roads. I take a lot of back roads to work, so there's a lot of times where it's really hard to see. And switching over to these Silver Star Ultra headlights, I want to show you guys that, and that might be another day. I'll show you at night how they look, but they look good. They shine out very well. You know, whenever I have whenever I'm driving with other traffic and I'm not wanting to use the light bar, these headlights are a really nice upgrade over the previous GE headlights that I had. They're a good upgrade. So as for right now, that's probably going to be it for the truck. The plans that I have in the near future are we're probably going to do some kind of a lift. I found a lift that'll do 3 inches in the front, 2 inches in the back. That's not huge, and I'm not trying to go all out on that. Just a nice little lift. The fact of the matter is, I have a very short wife. She's probably like yay tall to me. So it's already kind of a struggle for her to get in and out of my truck as it is. And mind you, this is a stock two-wheel drive version of the F150s. So it's not lifted at all. Okay, the four-wheel drive versions sit up about 2 inches higher than this. And this is as low as you can get on an F150. So it's pretty low, you know. The gap right here is just like a fist. You know, I'm thinking add 3 inches, we're going to come up to here. So I'd probably be able to, you know, extend my pinky to my thumb. That'd probably be our gap right there, and that's awesome. That's a good height. I don't want to go I don't want to go 4 inches or above. I don't know. It's just, that's not my thing going that high, but it'll give this a nice lift, and it'll have basically the 4x4 look of the lift in that aspect. On top of that, I do have these shorty headers. I got a stud remover, so we can hopefully get the studs off of this engine, get those old manifolds out, get those on. And at the same time, I'm wanting to do some kind of an off-road mid-pipe. The problem with that being, on these off-road mid-pipes, there are no direct fits for these. The closest off-road mid-pipe that I have found is a Bassani off-road white pipe, but that's meant for the SVT Lightning. All that I need is the flanges to match. The flange from the manifold to the headers, all I need is that to match, and then we're good. That's probably going to be, I can do the modifications from that if need be. Trying to think what else we're planning on doing. I remember the other upgrade that I was planning on doing is in the rear differential. This came from the factory with a, don't quote me, it's been a minute since I've looked at the build sheet. I believe it's a 327 rear gear. That's not good for me. That's not good for me. Now, this truck is a base work truck with a 4.6 liter and a 5-speed. This was meant, I'm guessing, for just highway driving and going in between jobs. You know, this is a work truck, but you know, I'm wanting it for more of a towing purpose, so I'm gonna go upgrade to 410s. I already have some 32, 33 inch tires on it, so it could use a 373. I know for sure it could use a 373. But since, you know, I do tow some trailers, and with the lifts I'm gonna get, I might upgrade to a 35 inch tire. 410s will be necessary. Anything with 35 and above, I truly feel needs a 410. And then anything 37 and above, you need like a 456. You can get away with a 456 on a 35 inch tire, just don't expect good gas mileage. Don't expect good gas mileage either way though. Alright guys, and like I said, I do have the Ford Focus back. The hood's popped on it because we're going to be changing the oil on it, as well as O2 sensors. The O2 sensors, I went to AutoZone, they had to order them. They're pretty simple, pretty easy to get to, I feel like. Just right here, behind the block. There's the manifold right here, and then right here is a sensor. You guys may not be able to see that, sorry that the lighting is very poor. And then just further down the manifold, there's another sensor. Both of those are pretty easy to get to. I also have a O2 sensor wrench that has the opening on the side, makes it easy to get around the wire and get those off. So we're going to be doing that on those. That may be today, maybe tomorrow. Still not 100% sure on that. Yeah, but I call that a successful day getting this all installed. And I look forward to the rest of the plans with getting it potentially lifted. There might be also some other engine mods that I want to do. If you guys got ideas, shoot me some ideas. Again, guys, thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram. It's OxfordWhite150. I can post that in the video here. If I'm not doing anything on here, I'm on Instagram. I try to keep the truck updated as much as I can on there. So go ahead and give me a follow on there. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.